Good evening. Welcome. It's Sunday night shine time. In prime time. Not 11:20 at night, not 12:30 in the afternoon, 8 p.m. prime time. I thank you all for being here. I hope you're excited. We got a great show for you tonight. We're going to start off some show news. Then we're going to bring in our guest, the great Buffalo Jet fan. And then we're going to open it up to all the paid members of the channel and the Discord for them to call in. And then if everyone behaves themselves, which I don't think you will, we'll post a link in the chat for open call-ins. But I thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. I hope you had a great weekend. Let's close it up on an awesome note. And what other note would we ever start this show with? And without some soothing sounds from the great Blitz BK.
It's got me.
Gentry covered in football.
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky.
Who, me?
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
Hey, all you shiners, it's time for something cool. I'm here to do my part. I'll drop a stinky fart. No chicken soup for you. I'm gonna eat it up. And then I'll do a show and talk about the Green Hornet. I got a new laptop. You know it doesn't suck. I'll need to keep it down when I'm making too much noise. My mom will pull the plug and Dennis smack my ass, and that will surely blow. Hey, fuckers, it's time for the Nick Shine Show.
Welcome, my friends, it's a shine time, it's time to talk about the Jets. Don't you know it's shine time, it's shine time to be with my friends. Hey, have you seen my toe?
Poor toe. I always keep the lookalike that the nurse gave me when I was done with wound care. It's a little memento. See what we did there? Starting the day off with some dad jokes. We're getting corny right off the top. Ladies and gentlemen, the show starts off already. Before we even go live, our boy Stack drops a gifted membership that went to, oh, I lost it. Now it's back. That's what he said. Carlos Santos. Stack, thank you. Now, for those of you who've been paying attention, I thank you. For those of you that retain information, double thank you. But I do want to remind everybody who doesn't, and some of you puff a lot. Sometimes you might forget things. We're doing a raffle, and we're doing the running back raffle this week. Well, for 3 weeks. But we have a Freeman McNeil autographed jersey. We have a Curtis Martin mini helmet, and we have a Thomas Jones mini helmet. But here's the cool part of this. Tonight, on Sunday, all raffle donations are doubled. So Stack, instead of 1, you get 2 entries for that. If you gift 5 memberships, you're now going to get 12 because I give you 1 bonus for the 5, but now you're going to get it to 12. If you go above and beyond, if you go to 10 gifted memberships, you're getting 30 raffle entries. So I hope that you saved your pennies. Tonight's the night of value. If you're going to gift on the channel, if you're going to do super chats, same thing. $5 will get you 2. A $20 will get you 10 because I'll give you a bonus for that. So good luck to everyone. Well, that's the first news. Okay. That's the good stuff. Now, secondly, I'm going to try something new this week. I'm going to do 4 shows this week. I'm going to do 2 shows at like 12:30 before I go to work. And I'm going to do 2 shows after I get home from work. So I'll do a daytime, a nighttime, a daytime, and nighttime. Who knows? If something happens with the Jets, I'll go on that night when I get home. But I will make sure, if you haven't already, follow all the information on the bottom of the screen. That's all the important info. Everything to know with the Nick Shine Show gets dropped in the Discord. Every bit of information, probably too much information, gets shared, to be completely honest with you. But that's the place to get all of your info. All right? So, a couple things that I wanted to talk about with the New York Jets. I'll be joined in a little bit with the Buffalo Jet fan, and we're going to get into the main topic of the show. Which undrafted Jets have the best chance to make this roster? Okay? But before we do that, before I give you some of my other things, I want to give a special shout out to David D., one of our resident Detroit Lions fans. I'm over my nephew's house today, sitting there. We're watching, me and my brother-in-law and my mother are watching Semi-Pro, story of Jackie Moon. And I get a message from Connor Long. What's this? Open it up. And it says, "Hey, Nick, hope all's well. Did a raffle on my show, and David, one of our Detroit Lions fans in the community, won a couple raffles on the show. He won a C.J. Mosley autographed jersey and a Joe Klecko mini helmet. And he told me he wanted to gift them to you." I'm like, whoa, very unexpected, very kind, very gracious of you, David. So I reached out to David, who we follow one another on Twitter. And I was like, "Dave, this is very unexpected and very awesome of you. Thank you. I'm appreciative of it." And he shot me a nice reply. So, David, from the bottom of my heart and my son's, because my son's going to get the CJ, I'm going to keep the Klecko. And very, very kind of you. And it touched me right here in the heart. You didn't have to do that, but I'm very appreciative of you, your friendship, and being a part of this channel. So shout out to David and a couple. We got Patty Grimes, who's been a long time viewer here, another Detroit Lion fan. So shout out to you guys for taking the time to watch a show that has nothing to do with your team and becoming a good part of the community. So thank you very much for that. Giving back to so many. Dave, you're too kind, buddy. You keep being you, man. You're absolutely fantastic. Clancy? No, Clancy, I am in 1080. Why? Is it less than normal? Oh, don't hit me with camera issues. Damn it. Had Johnny check it out before the show. Uh-oh. It's freezing a tiny bit. All right. Let me try this. For those of you who don't know, we've had some issues going on with the camera. Bought a brand new camera, and it's been freezing. Let me try to bring it down. All right. Let's see if that's better. I just brought it down to 720. Let's see how that works. I'm looking at you to my left in StreamYard. The crazy thing is when you're in StreamYard, it looks tremendous. Looks absolutely perfect. Let me see if there's something I can mess with here. Okay. Well, you know me. You know I get distracted when I hear that. But I just brought it down from 1080 in StreamYard down to 720, so the push out will be less. Maybe that's better. But I thank you. Let me know, because if this glitch keeps happening, because this camera is not auto-focusing, let me know if you see it, and we'll do my best to get it rectified for you guys, to give you the best possible viewing experience. Oh, Jets Worldwide Snowball, who I had fun hanging out with yesterday. Don't listen to Clancy. He just woke up and his eyes are crusty. All right, so now that's happening. We got a whole bunch of things going on here, glitching right now. All right, let me drop this video. We'll be right back. Let me see if I can work on this on the back end. Also, that's what she said.
Hey, Shiners. It's a party. My house. Discord party.
Let's got beat.
Yo, we at Sean's crib about to turn up. Music bumping, party jumping. Please someone fill my cup. We greet each other Merry Christmas. And let the Jets suck while Bobby yells at scandal.
Shut the fuck up.
Then Gary intervenes and tells them don't be mean. Eat a stick of butter every day and you'll be lean. Then Santa runs off. I hope he left some gifts because Bobby scared him off. He's on the naughty list. This whole party's lit. Nate Clancy, many more, we hardly fit. And Addison and Weeds bought that Marley spliff. I licked on my lips cause old Jenna G make my heart beat skip. Damn Charles Gorman, was that a far you ripped? Too much head in you know the hot dogs and chips. Now I want my dip. Tell me where the hell is Santa? He ran so quick. I checked the bathroom and oh shit.
No, you don't get to hear it. Okay. So let's recap yesterday. For those of you that don't know, the great legendary Craig from Australia is here with Mrs. Craig. So we put together a little game plan a couple weeks ago. I said to Craig, you know, when you here, we got to do something. You know, it's baseball season. Do you want to go see a game? And he's like, sure, let's do it. I'm like, all right, I don't know what you have planned while you're here. How's that Saturday look? How's May 3rd look? And he's like, all right, let's do it. So 1 second. Son of a bitch. Give me 1 second. Good evening. Welcome to Thursday Night Throwdown. I'm your host, Nick.
When the blitz comes, there's no one to block him.
It's 10 o'clock, get ready for the showdown. 9 toes down, Nick, ready for the throwdown. We proud Jets fans, we don't play with them pronouns. Best roster in the league, we playing with the pros now. They tell us slow down, call us delusional, call us losers as usual. But this season will be beautiful. Shotgun with you know who, but run it instead. Let Hall hit the hole hard.
That's what she said.
Ground and pound like it's 2010. The chat, we got many friends. Johnny wearing hats for super chat and watch him breathe again. Nick put the link so Bobby can call and speak again. Bonesy get the blunt, I got the weed and pens. We speaking green again. Jets news like it's CNN. A-Rod and Charles Gorman is like we seeing twins. Feeding tins, pounding on these bleeding fins. Week 14 and 18 when they needing wins. They ain't seeing them. We run the ball and play defense. This is AFC hell where the teams repent. Ladies and gents, welcome to MetLife. This is Jet Life. We bleed green, this our best life. We just nice.
Okay. We should be good. Everything should be situated. We're back, baby. We're up. So, we do a Yankee outing. Share the Discord. Another perk of being in the Discord is that you get involved in all of our outings that we do. And you get to hang out with us. So, Craig, Mrs. Craig, myself, my son Nick, Peter, Snowball, Jake, and Lee Van. We had 8 of us all get together. We go to the Yankee game. It's a fun day. We stopped at, we met up at Alden Shoes, got to see the champ, Bonesy. We were going to call it the Jake Show, but there was a customer there for too long. But we're not going to complain about it because he bought 2 pairs of shoes. So good for Bonesy. The champ deserves all the love and all the business. And if you are ever in New York City and you need a fantastic, state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line dress shoe, make sure you go to Alden Shoes and tell them that I sent you. You probably know them already if you're watching my show, but still, it'd be nice to just hear Nick Shine sent me. So we meet up there, we hang out for a little bit, and then we head up to the game. Waited till we were outside the stadium next to Billy's and the McDonald's right there to purchase tickets. We got mezzanine tickets for $38 each. Section 230. So we're mezzanine level. We're a little bit before the foul pole on the third base side. And if we would have bought seats 5 rows in front of us, we would all be fluorescent pink today. We were in the shade, beautiful breeze. It's a great game. It was moving along quick. And then the Yankees bullpen gave it up in the 8th. But all in all, great. Yeah, Rick, they had, you can look for 12 seats together the morning of the game, and there was a bunch of them. Obviously, it's a lot less than if you need 2, but there were bunches of 9, 10 together all over the stadium, even down low behind. Basically, even with third base at the lower level, but they were like $2.10 a ticket. So it was a little bit of a surprise, but the weather was perfect. The weather was great. And like I said, when we were going to the train afterwards, everyone who had seats in the sun, you can tell. A lot of people who probably walked in this white and left pink, fluorescent, glowing. So the good Lord looked out for us, and it was nice. So after the game, we head back to Midtown. We get off at Columbus Circle. Jake had to go home, wash the pollen off. Myself, Lee Van, Snowball, Nikki just started walking down from 59th Street. And we made it all the way down to 35th. So we were down to 35th Street. Nice, good walk. Beautiful day with the breeze. Like I said, we stopped. We grabbed some cigars. We sit down on this place over by Hudson Yards. We got tables outside. Great. We could smoke our cigars outside. Well, they serve beer inside. Snowball, leave in. Go in and get a beer. I sit there and go to light the cigar. And this guy shows up like the housekeeper in Mr. Deeds. He pops up out of nowhere. You cannot smoke that cigar here. I go, I'm sorry? He goes, this is in a very expensive neighborhood. You cannot smoke the cigar. I go, I'm outside. What do you mean I can't smoke outside? The underhang is part of the building. The building says no smoking. All right. I go, what about the tables over here? He goes, those tables belong to the city. You can smoke. I go, okay, guys, bring your beers. No, you cannot bring the beers over there. The beer is part of the restaurant. Stay here. The chairs over there, which are chained to the tables, which you can't even slide out and sit in, by the way. You have no idea, Rick Kent. No idea. So to break it down, because I'm getting a headache from doing that voice. Also, I've never seen a dress shirt this tight on a human being before. Oh, thank you, Jess Rolla. I'll rewind to that, but I'm buried in this part of the story right now. So to recap, there's 4 chairs in front of this restaurant window. I ask for more chairs. We get turned down. Stiddy says we can only have 4. Okay. Go to light the cigar. Can't smoke outside. It's part of the building. Building says no smoking. Okay. Can't bring the beers over to the table for Levan and Snowball because that's not okayed over there. It's one big headache after another. And then we finally look across the street. There was a health food store or something that closed down. And we were able to go sit over there. It's crazy. Now, Mr. Parachute. We're on our way to the game. We get on the subway. There's a lady who gets on. And all of you know, when you get on the subway and you're heading to a Yankee game an hour before the game, it's going to be a tight fit. I'm by the door. I'm claustrophobic. So even if it's a full train, I need to be sitting in a seat in a corner or have my back against like the wall or door. So I'm right where the door opens. And I'm sitting there and I'm holding the rail and there's a couple of people. It's not shoulder pinching tight, but it's getting there. And I feel this lady come on the train and like push me. Now I have the rail in front of me and the door behind me and I'm like crunched in. And I'm looking this way. And all of a sudden I hear, "What the hell are you doing? Of course you're going to push your way in. You and your parachute on your back." And the lady turns around and looks at the guy. There's a guy yelling at the lady. And he goes, "Yeah, you're not even going to take it off. You're not even going to say I'm sorry. Just going to keep doing it again, I'm sure. You and your parachute. Where are you jumping at? What are you doing?" "Yeah, I know. You're big. You're important. You don't give a shit about nobody else." I'm looking this way because I can't even turn around and look at it, laughing my ass off. I feel Snowball looking at me, which is making me laugh even harder. And this guy is just bitching this lady. Yeah, go ahead. Here, why don't you take it off? Hold it down the bottom. Make room for other people. No, you won't do that. Absolutely insane. This guy yelling at this lady. Wasn't threatening her, but was just relentless with egging her on. And I'm paralyzed with laughter because the parachute comment. And then as soon as she gets off, like a stop or two later, I'm texting Snowball. Oh, I can't forget this. We got to bring up parachute guy. So Snowball, thank you. Thank you for reading the text and reminding me of that. Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough in the city, man. It's quite interesting. You know, it was daytime, so we didn't see as much of the chaos as people would normally see. But it was a great time being with everyone. You know, and for being in New York City, for taking mass transportation, for having to walk, 20 something blocks when we got back, 25 blocks down. And the day was as great as it could possibly be. So shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Craig for coming all the way out here from Australia. It was a pleasure hanging out with them and everyone else who came and made the day so awesome yesterday. Thank you. And to the rest of you, don't miss the next outing. Don't miss the next outing. I believe the next outing, which I have been asked by Nate to help put together, and it's against my better judgment, but for all that Nate does, I'll suck it here a little bit and oblige. I'll announce tonight that for the Yankees-Mets game on Sunday, July 6th, we will be doing an outing. So we'll have more info on that. Should have a nice turnout. I know the tickets are going to be more expensive because it's a premier series, but that will be our next big get-together. I heard from a little birdie that Addison might be out here from Los Angeles that week. I'm another birdie who's going to tell you something. I'm on vacation that whole week from June 28th to July 7th. I go back to work. So just want to let you guys know, could be a lot of fun stuff going on that week. So make sure, join the Nick Shine Discord, get in, don't miss out on any of the plans. And who knows, maybe we'll have a whole much more going on that week. Carly is obviously lying to everyone, saying Manhattan is not a hellhole. It's a wonderful paradise. It's an acquired taste. I think if you're not used to the intricacies that come along with being in Midtown Manhattan or throughout the city, it's a little bit of a culture shock for some. But when you've been shocked day after day for the entire lifespan, of course, stuff rolls off your back. Like, oh, that's nothing, because you've been broken in and catered to see so much craziness. But yeah, it's different, right? It's a melting pot. When it gets hot, crazy shit happens. But all things considered, great day yesterday. Don't miss out on the next one. Could have a bigger group. If we have Addison and Rick Kent here, you want to get. So join the Discord, become a paying member of the channel, hop in, and you will be privy to all info. And you have a say in it as we go along. Jets Worldwide, Snowball with a $10 super chat, which doubles and gives him 4 entries in the running back raffle. I was proud to walk down 10th Ave with you. No, sir. I was proud. And I just want to say, the air conditioner in that cigar shop that we found may have been the strongest little air conditioner ever. That place was an icebox. That was beautiful to walk into after being outside for hours on end. And Snowball, thank you for the cigar. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, a name in the chat. Some names pop up in the chat, and it's a legend. And it's someone who you haven't seen in a while. But what we do here with this family is we always welcome everybody back, and we all welcome them back with open arms. Ladies and gentlemen, give our buddy Harry a big welcome and return back to the Nick Shine Show. Welcome, Harry. Pleasure to have you here. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Tickle My Prostate in the chat says, Nick, you were once proud. I'm always proud. Listen, I'm proud to be part of this community. I am proud to be a part of this community. From Bobby's Right Nut. Tickle My Prostate. Bobby's Right Nut. I believe that's an Oscar account. Am I right? Cute name. Boomtown, as always, reminding everyone to free Denmark Andy, the legend of Denmark Andy on this channel. Will live in infamy. I believe the last time he was here and he dropped the R word, I banned him from ever calling in again. Now 3 strikes, you're out. That was his 3rd time calling into the show, and on the 3rd time, he wore out his welcome. He pushed it a little too far. So peace out to Denmark Andy, and go to rehab, dude. Okay, so now on to our Jets. And if you're here, hit the like button. It's free. It's easy to do. Today is Sunday. What we're doing for this raffle is we are doubling all raffle entries. We have Freeman McNeil autographed jersey, Curtis Martin mini helmet, and the Thomas Jones mini helmet. We will be drawing them on May 18th, so make sure to get in. Today's the day to donate. This Sunday, next Sunday are the days to donate, because this is when your raffle entries are going to be doubled. So, Kuka Lee with a stupid question. What if we hit the dislike button? Well, that means you accidentally hit it, or you're named Nate. What's the R word? Russian. It's Russian. The M word's also Muppet. The M word is a Muppet. So stop being annoying. New member of the chat, Barbie Midnight. Barbie Midnight is here with a laptop, long hair, Domino's pizza boxes around her. Barbie Midnight. Barbie, welcome to the chat. I hope you enjoy your stay while you're here. And thank you for becoming a member of the channel, Barbie. Much appreciated. And yeah, thank you. All right, so now on to the New York Jets. Here's what the Jets got going on this week. Rookie minicamp starts this weekend. We'll get the players in. They'll get them all fitted for their uniforms and everything. They'll get them out on the field. They have signed, I believe, 15 undrafted free agents, and then they also have some roster invites out there. One of those roster invites are Quincy and Quinnen Williams' brother. So another namesake from the Williams family is stepping into the New York Jets locker room, and keeping an eye on. You know they're going to be putting a good word in for him. You know it'll be great for morale, not just for him, for the rest of the team too, right? If somebody's football family, and when you have a member of your family, one of your teammates, and their brothers are trying to become a part of your family, you're going to root and pull extra hard for that kid. So, shout out to him. Good luck to him. And keep an eye out this weekend on a couple players. There's always players that jump out where maybe their combine wasn't great. Maybe they didn't do well at the Shrine Bowl or the All-Star game or the Senior Bowl. But there's always players who pop up and just stand out when they're on a football field against their contemporaries. Is it going to be a wide receiver? Is it going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be a lineman? We don't know. But in a few minutes, Buffalo Jet fan and I will give you our takes on that and who we think are players. And, of course, I always love hearing from you guys. So after that segment, of course, love your feedback and what you guys have to say. So if you got some names that you're keeping an eye on, feel free to drop that. I have my list already. I have 3 that I'm looking forward to. And I think Buffalo will have his 3 as well. So it's a good thing for Aaron Glenn to get on the field too. I'm happy when a coach gets to coach, right? Coaches don't want to be in the rooms all the time. Coaches don't want to be doing interviews. Coaches want to coach. And Aaron Glenn, will get a good look at him, and we'll get some feedback on what he's like sitting at the head of the table, but being on the field. There's been a lot of speculation. Can he fill the shoes of a head coach? Can he be the guy to help change the New York Jets franchise around? Is he the guy? Is he deserving of this? Are we just rooting for him because he's a former Jet? Are we just being too nostalgic? Does he deserve this job? I think so. Everyone who's played for him, coached with him, coached against him, speaks highly of him. People, if you don't have something nice to say in the coaching world, you avoid the question. People don't avoid the question when speaking about Aaron Glenn. They go out of their way to speak the truth and say what they feel about this man. We have Patty Grimes and David D here from the Lions, who've had him as their defensive coordinator the past several years. They speak very highly of him. He didn't play for their team, but they respect the hell out of him as a coach. Always say his team's ready to play. He can make changes on the fly. They suffered a lot of injuries this year, and he still made things work. And the last couple of years, they've gone on a decent run in the playoffs. Of course, Dave is saying he's a huge AG fan. Patty Grimes says Aaron Glenn will be your Dan Campbell. I'll take that. I would love if Aaron Glenn can come in and not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. If Aaron Glenn can come in here and set the tone for this organization, and like Dan Campbell did, right? Everyone laughs at Dan Campbell's first press conference when it happened, out biting knees and fighting and all that. But you look at that team, guess what? They do that. They took on that identity of tough, scrappy, relentless football team. Aaron Glenn, you got a lot of nice pieces in place here, man. You have a lot of nice pieces in place to build this team into a competitor. Now we know we need a quarterback. I know what you're going to say. I'm a fan as well. But if you build a team to dominate in the trenches, it helps out your quarterback. You build a good power running attack, it helps your quarterback. You get manageable third downs, it helps your quarterback. I think the Jets have a lot of pieces in place that can help Justin Fields get to an average level. And if Justin Fields becomes an average passer with our secondary, with our offensive line, with our running backs, why can't we control the clock? Why can't we play good defense late in the game? And why can't we win 8-9 games? The schedule is not really intimidating. There's a lot of teams on that schedule that are just like us. Miami, they're not a world beater. Patriots, they're hoping to become something. Might be a learning curve there. They still have a young quarterback. They're not a given as a winning program. They just picked fourth in the draft. Atlanta, Carolina, Cleveland, bad, bad, and bad. New Orleans, bad. Steelers, question marks, right? They don't even have a quarterback yet. Do go with the guy that people think they might sign. Are you really improving your team? So it's not really an awful schedule. Atlanta picked 15th overall. Carolina picked 8th. New Orleans picked 9th. Cleveland picked 2nd. The Patriots picked 4th. On paper, Jacksonville picked 5th. There's a lot of bad teams from last year on our schedule. Do things change? Yes. Do teams improve? Yes. Do teams like maybe Cincinnati or Pittsburgh fall off a little bit? Possible. Injuries happen. We don't know when we're going to play these teams, if we're going to be healthy, if they're going to be healthy. I'm a big fan of what we have in place. Is it a finished product? God, no. Please don't think that I'm saying that. But I like the starting point. I think we're at a better starting point with this coach and this roster than we've been at since Todd Bowles took over. Saleh took over an awful team. Bowles came in. Gase, we know. He took over a bad team, made it worse. Bowles took over a team that won 10 games. Am I going to say that we're winning 10 games? No. I think a perfect storm, we could win 8 or 9. If we're as explosive as a running game as we could be, maybe you win another game. I think in year 1, the ideal situation for the Jets is you win a couple games early, you battle against some tough teams, you get better as the season goes on, and you win a couple games late that nobody expects you to win. And you end up competitive football going into December. If you're playing meaningful football with 3-4 weeks left in the season in year 1, I think that's a nice start. That's nice. Now, if we push for a playoff spot and it comes down to week 17 and 18 and the Jets control their own destiny, who wouldn't sign up for that right now? Who would not sign up for that with the Jets right now, today? But the goal, start here, get better as the season goes on. Become that team that every analyst is saying, Aaron Glenn has really changed this around. He's put his identity on this football team. They're a team that nobody wants to play right now. Pass rush is ferocious. Secondary is getting turnovers. They dominate the line of scrimmage with the run. Justin Fields is an opportunistic downfield passer. That's the perfect storm, right? That's a perfect scenario of year 1. Obviously, all of those things may not happen, but I think that's the goal. You want to dominate the trenches. You want to have short third downs. You want to get Fields out in the open where it's an easy decision. You drop back, I run. You come up, I dump it off. Running quarterbacks do something that a pocket quarterback can't. They create unexpected holes in the defense when they move and they break. Because all of the defense, the scheme of the defense is to take away priority passes and priority passing zones. Linebackers drop, they cover the hooks for the tight end, the slants for the wide receivers. Safeties will cover the post or the deep outs or going deep. But when a quarterback breaks the pocket and receivers break off their traditional routes, and you can execute those passes, that's how you can exploit a team. We haven't had that. But all of you are knowledgeable football fans, even Barbie Midnight, who's here. When you break that pocket, that's when things break down on the defensive side, because you don't plan for where the quarterback is going to run to. You don't know if that linebacker is coming up. That safety decides to fly up. Now you can get downfield past him. There's no rhyme. Basketball, you're playing a 2-3. You know how to rotate. You know where everyone's going to be. In football, if you're playing man and the quarterback breaks, if the whole routes go this way and the quarterback breaks this way, how do you guard that? So it's Justin Fields brings an element that we haven't had. Sure, we had Michael Vick towards the end of his career. Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold were able to run, but you didn't have a lot of drawn-up run plays for them. This is the first time the New York Jets are going to have a quarterback there's a package in the playbook that says, in Pop Warner, we quarterback the one. You run up the 118 boot, whatever. There's going to be a number one package of which way to run the quarterback and designed runs for him, because that's a skill set he brings to the table that opens up everything. It really, really does. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be exciting to watch. How do they utilize him? How do they use his legs as a strength? How do they get him out and about and all over where he can create a problem? Link is dead. Give me 1 second. Why can't I send the fucking link from StreamYard? All right. Give me 1 second here. All right. Let me drop a video. Let me follow Jet Fan in. We'll be right back after this.
There's been a lot of you out there asking about who he be. Well, he's about to let you know.
He's Charles.
This rap is so hot, you'll play it on a loop. You'll never get the recipe for chicken noodle soup. Super a spider or even a bat. Got nothing on me or Bobby with his hat. Lady's gotta be a 10 if I'm gonna date her. Shout out to my homie, his name is Gator. I'm Charles.
To all you other guys trying to rap on Jake's show, got nothing on this guy and his flow.
He's Charles.
These bars be so hot, I'll get invited on Fountain. You know who won't? That hater, Alan. My comic book and movie takes are so hot and wild. Since my last verse, Johnny had another child. My YouTube is blowing up and becoming a star. Blew a load in Tom Ace inside of his car. I'm Charles.
Jets, Yankees, comics, hip-hop, nobody compares when it comes to him.
He's Charles.
I see everyone on Jake's show trying to prop bars. I'm the only one jumping over cars. Blowski calls the show and he's always really loud. Shout out to Nick, you know he'd be proud. I don't like Zach or his family, they're Mormon. First name Charles, last name Gorman. I'm Charles, motherfucker.
You just witnessed the debut of a proud New York Jet fan and a Jake Asman production. Brought to you by the man, the myth, the legend himself.
I'm Charles.
Legendary day. Saturday, Father's Day weekend last year. Great Charles Gorman comes over and we shoot that video. But speaking of legends and legendary fathers and legendary Jet content creators, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you right now my good friend, the Buffalo Jet fan. What's up, buddy?
Nick Shine, what's going on, dude?
How are you, man?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome, man. Thank you for joining me. How's things on your end?
Good. You know, we're not a lot to hype about the Jets this offseason, so it's kind of just flying under the radar. You know, maybe it'll be better that way. We'll see. I think last year we were expecting a lot and it really underwhelmed, and this year we're expecting nothing, and I think we'll probably meet in the middle there. You know, I don't think the Jets are tanking. So I don't know. I have very little expectations, but I'm hoping we get surprised, you know, like a nice 2017 Josh McCown start when we're like 4-2 or whatever it was. That'd be nice. Just got to finish a little better. Yeah.
I think things are great in Jets land. And I'll tell you why. Our biggest complaint is QB3. That's the biggest topic right now. What if the first two quarterbacks get hurt? We should have drafted a quarterback in round 6. Like, I think things are pretty good if the biggest tears right now are flowing from the QB3 sector of Jets Twitter, right?
Yeah. Like,
when you look at it that way.
Yeah, I'd say like any team who's playing their QB3 is going to be effed. It doesn't matter. Yeah. There's no who's the best QB3 in the league.
Yeah,
right?
if you're Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
How many teams get to QB3, right? Like, if you get to QB3, your season's off the rails. So, I mean, who cares who the QB3 is? Not many teams are putting in a QB3 who's the difference maker or an answer.
unless it's Chris Trevler. He makes a difference. You didn't specify. It is different when he plays.
The only difference he made is that when he was the protector for the punt play, we didn't know if it was a fake punt or an actual punt. That was the only difference he made. Fake punts were always on the table when Chris Trevler, when he got quarterback snaps.
Yeah, he has the worst 50-yard completion in it, the ugliest 50-yard completion in NFL history. You remember that one to Uzama? Had to come back for it.
I don't.
Yeah, it was like a trick. It was like a trick play in that Thursday night game, and Uzama was wide open for a touchdown, and he wobbled it up there. Had to sprint back like 10 yards to dive and catch it. But it's probably best that you don't remember it.
I don't. Was that 22 or 23? Was that under Salah or was that before him?
I think that was 22. That was 22, I think. Yeah, CJ Quest remembers it.
Nice. So, give me your thoughts post-draft. What were your thoughts with the draft? I think everyone's kind of in sync with the first three. Okay. After that, there's some question marks. Right? But what's your thoughts on what happened? Give me the first 2 days first. What do you think there?
Yeah, man. I think the first two picks, I think, similar to last year where we were arguing weapon or offensive line, that was kind of the argument again. And they did go with those two picks with their first two selections. So maybe it wasn't the order you wanted, or maybe it wasn't the specific guys that you wanted, but they picked two players who were consensus to be taken around that range, who were the two biggest needs that we were talking about, and two picks that are going to help your quarterback, and two picks who were like just turned 21. I think actually Mason Taylor's not until next month. The kid turns 21, which is crazy. So super young, super talented dudes at positions of need. I'm cool with it. AZ Thomas, I think, is just a player that I think Aaron Glenn just fell in love with the corner, and he's like hell yeah. And the value was just too good. I think they wanted Kyle Williams, the receiver the Patriots were eyeing, which would have been sweet. But they go to Thomas, and I think that we definitely, as fans, we overvalue the present when we talk about drafting so much. I remember when they took Will McDonald, and it was like, oh my gosh, we have Lawson and JFM and JJ. Like, this guy's gonna be like a fourth string edge. He took 15th overall. And yeah, you want immediate impact, especially from first rounders. I get it. But then last year, Nick, I'm watching the Jets. Who's the only guy getting pressure off the edge on the whole team? Is McDonald. Just 1 year later, it was like, oh, he was a luxury. He's inactive. 1 year later, it's like he's our only edge rusher who's getting anything done. So if AZ Thomas is, a starter and halfway through his rookie contract, that'd be worth it at pick 73. And that'd be that we haven't gotten a starter in rounds 3 or 4 in a long time. Now, the only issue with the AZ Thomas selection is I really wish they didn't give Stevens 2 years of guaranteed money at that money. Like, I still don't get it. Like, we all have different amount of trust the process. My trust the process card declines on the Stevens signing every time I try and swipe it. It is what it is. But I'm not going to hold that against AZ Thomas because I think he'll be a good player. So first 3 picks, yeah, man, I'm definitely cool with all of them.
Let me ask you this. The Thomas pick gives me more questions than it gives me answers. He's not a nickelback. Michael Carter's set there, right? Signed a multiple-year deal. He's got 2 years left. Stevens has his deal, 3 years, right? You can get out of it after 2, but there's still some financial hell.
Right.
Sauce is the only guy not long-term with the Jets right now. Does that give you any, does that make you look at that and say, are they going to do something here? Are they going to move him? Are they going to, what's your thoughts when you look at, because yes, granted, people get hurt, right? And Aaron Glenn, you learn from your past. It's good to have depth, right? Pass rushers, corners, you need there because guys are going to get hurt. Guys are going to tweak injuries throughout the year. So it's good to have Thomas, who looks like he could immediately play. But long-term, that's the only questionable spot right now is Sauce's, right? Because he's got the least amount of time left of the other cornerbacks. Does it give you a question mark where you're looking and like, all right, is something going on here where this guy hits, or is there going to be a move made, or what's your thought with that?
I don't think so. When the pick immediately came in, I was like, okay, Stevens is safety, all this stuff, but I just think that they went by the board and they felt the talent was too good to pass up. If I had to guess, that's all we can do. But you are right in the sense that, like, AZ Thomas obviously is not playing safety. AZ Thomas is not a nickel. And even if you want to bring in dime, you probably want to bring in someone like, Isaiah Oliver, who's more versatile. Like, I don't think he's a dime back. I think his role right now is just the primary backup boundary corner who will probably play special teams. And so that leaves over the next 2 years, either Stevens on the bench at some point or AZ Thomas. And like, look, whatever, if he takes over and he's good and you have a good depth, I'm not complaining. I'm just making an observation that a team that kind of had a lot of needs, you're like, oh, okay, maybe you could have spread the wealth around a little bit more. So I think that just tells you how much they like Thomas. Whereas, because I think that's all I think they just really liked him. I think that by consensus, which isn't gospel, he was like a top 50 player. And I think they felt that we're just going to take a top 50 player instead of taking a player for need, which makes the conversation a little bit more interesting because they might have done a little bit of the opposite with their next pick. But I'm not galaxy braining the AZ Thomas pick too much. I just think that they took a 20-year-old who is going to be an eventual starter for this team. And I think Aaron Glenn loved him. Perfect for a press man system. That's what he does.
Yeah, and you see that they have a formula that they want for outside corner, right? You got to be over 6'2" or over, long arms, rangy, and you got that with Sauce, Stevens, and AZ. You got all of them are more than taller than 6'1". Carter's nickel, so they're a little different when they're on the inside. You want a little shorter, quicker, change direction easier. But outside, they look like they have a blueprint for what they want. Now, going on to the 4th round pick, as you mentioned, with Smith. You cannot like the resume, but you got to like the skill set, right? Like, we haven't had a guy since Robbie Anderson who could just get past the defense. Even when you're planning to stop him, he could still just run past people. Smith brings that. And that's an element we haven't had, right? Because that opens up the middle of the field. We see all these other teams running 15-yard ins. Like, wow, how's that open? Where's the safety? Oh, their fastest guy took the safety 35 yards downfield, and then that 15-yard in was open. So if you have an offensive line that can pass protect, and then you have a guy who can get downfield, that opens up some routes that we haven't really seen the Jets run in a long time because we haven't been able to scare the defense. He brings that to the table. Give me your thoughts on him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely is. He has a niche skill set, right? Where you think about it in the NBA, if you can shoot threes, but you can't do anything else, you still might find your way into an 8-man rotation, right? And I think that's kind of Smith's path to this wide receiver room because it is very slow. I mean, Garrett's obviously your number one, but then between Reynolds, Lazard, Corley, and Tyler Johnson, it might be the slowest wide receiver room in the NFL heading into the draft. So he definitely adds that. I think that he is a player, what you're talking about, he can, when you have speed like that, you can impact the play without getting the ball. I think you could stress the defense like vertically and horizontally if you're putting him in motion on those jet sweeps and all of that. Built into that is you're going to have a coach who can actually leverage his skill set. Obviously, the drop rate, he has to cut it by he has to more than half it, right? Because it was pretty egregious. I don't remember off the top of my head, but he obviously dropped a lot of passes and dealt with some injuries. But yeah, man, I think the people freaking out over the Smith pick is just more about us being down in the dumps as fans, because let's be honest, I mean, just traded up to hand Martini Nate Hackett, Malachi Corley last year. Malachi Corley was a late 2nd round pick, and they said, here you go, Martini Nate. And everyone was like, yeah, this is going to be great. Why? Because we were excited about the season. So the 59th overall pick, which is what Corley cost, it being handed to Nate Hackett being fine versus Arian Smith at 110 going to Tanner Engstrand being like the end of the world. There's no way in which that's an objective. No, there's no way. That's just we were excited about the season last year, and Joe Douglas had a lot of faith within the fan base. He bought a lot of goodwill, and some of it warranted. He brought in some talent to where he was just going to get the benefit of the doubt. Where the new regime, I think people are very skeptical, and the first time they kind of zigged when we were expecting a zag, people were just going to jump down their throats. It was just coming.
Yeah. One of the things I've been saying with Corley, we felt we had the King, we had Debo Jr., and we got nothing. Now everyone hates this pick. Watch this be a guy who's impactful, right? Like an impactful season would be a guy who constantly takes the lid off the defense. Go to him early. Throw a deep one early on the first or second drive and let the other team know and the defense know, hey, we're not afraid to air it out. So you got to be careful for him when he's out on the field, which now opens everything else underneath, right? It opens up your tight end post. It opens up your Garrett Wilson doing an in route. It opens up A swing route to the running back, Brees Hall, up the sideline. If you have that safety backpedaling because he's on the field, also opens up some bootleg scenarios, right? Where you can do rollouts and you do a 2-tier where you drag Taylor 15 yards downfield and then you send Smith 45 yards downfield, let the safety pick who he wants, and you hit the other guy. So it's going to put Fields in some favorable positions to throw the ball. And I'm not against the player. He went to Georgia. I'm a Georgia guy. I'm obviously going to root hard for him. I've watched all the guys from Georgia I love on defense go to Philly year after year after year and watch them win a Super Bowl there. Would I want a Georgia defender over the 4th Georgia wide receiver? Sure. But as a Jet fan, you bring an element that we need. So take the name, take the resume, take the drops away. Just the threat of him on the field alone is enough to open it up and help other guys do their skill sets to the best of their ability. So let's wait to see what they do with him and how they utilize him before we're burying the pick. Because last year we praised the hell out of the pick, and it was absolute dog shit. So let's calm down as fans. Like, we know what it's going to be with Smith.
I'm hoping that Forley with better coaching can do something as well, but we'll see.
Yeah. And something I'm a big fan of. We watched the Patriots do this for years. Who was the Patriots' number 2 wide receiver next to Deion Branch when they won a Super Bowl? Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows.
It's probably Kevin Falk. It's probably the running back, right?
Yeah. But when you look at what they had, they didn't have a Jerry Rice and a John Taylor. They didn't have a Lynn Swann and a Dante Stallworth. They had a group of guys who all complemented one another, and no guy could do what the guy next to him could do. When we had Coles, Corbett, and Moss, right, and we were winning and going to playoffs multiple years in a row, Corbett couldn't do what Coles did. Coles couldn't do what Moss did, vice versa. They all brought their unique skill set to the table. And when you look at what Wilson does, and then you look at what Smith can do getting downfield, and you look at Lazard with blocking and run game and being the big target, and then now you bring in a young athletic Taylor, and you got Brees out of the backfield, and Rucker can block. Everybody does something different. And if you have an offensive mind, something we haven't had in a very long time, who knows how to utilize these guys and knows how to make that guy complement that guy, which complements that guy, and design routes and schemes based off of that, that's an NFL offense. And that's something we haven't had for a very, very long time. Speaking of a long time, I know I don't have you for one, so I want to move on to the next question. You like that? I'm getting good, right? Next question for you. And I'll let you pick your couple guys first, and then if you got to go, I understand. I do thank you for joining me. We got 80 of you watching. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, while you're here, we are doing raffles. It's Sunday. All raffle entries are doubled. So Freeman McNeil jersey, Curtis Martin mini helmet, Thomas Jones mini helmet. Tonight's the night you want to contribute to the show because you get maximum raffle entries tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But let me ask you, last year we saw 3 defensive linemen with Taylor, McGregor, and Watts get signed by the Jets. If you're looking this year at the undrafted free agents, who were guys that Buffalo Jet fan says, that's a guy I'm keeping my eye on. He can make this roster, whether for his individual skill set, for whatever reason he fell, or holes on this roster. Who's your guys?
So the first guy I'll point out is Leander Wiegand from Germany, formerly UCF. And that's just because, number one, follow the money, man. The guy who gets the biggest guarantee usually always has the best shot, at least to make the practice squad. So this is the offensive tackle who put up 38 cold ones on the bench press. I think he played interior offensive lineman, and Xavier Newman is the backup guard, so that'd be the spot he'd be competing with. And and there's the international
lock, right? Newman's not a roster lock. I don't think anyone looks at Newman and says he's a Jet come September.
Right, and I think that is probably the offensive line depth spot that we could get used to stand to improve the most. Like Myers is a good backup center, but he's never played guard, so he's just a backup center. I don't think Max Mitchell has any hope, honestly, but I actually do. I'm holding out a little bit of hope that Carter Warren could be a backup tackle with better coaching. I think he at least has the physical traits to do it. Mitchell, not so much, but yeah, backup guard. We could be in the market for one of those, and via the international player program, they can put him on the practice squad and have a 17th player. So they're going to at least take advantage of that. So you're going to see this guy around. So that would be my number one guy, just because of the money and the international.
I like it. He was on my short list.
Yeah,
I'm with it. Who else?
Well, if they keep a third quarterback, I think it'd be Brady Cook over Adrian Martinez, right? At this
2
point,
for 2. We're on the same page so far. I like it. I like it. It's a good sign of things to come.
I'm hoping we solved kicker maybe with Cade Davis.
3 for 3. You took all 3 of mine.
There we go. See, great minds. I'll throw a bonus one in there.
We need a kicker, right?
Or a Mulba.
And this guy he highly rated kicker in the draft. We all know a lot of kickers don't get drafted. Real special kickers get drafted. But he was a very good kicker in college. And a lot of those guys go undrafted. They get roster invites, and then they end up making the team, and they win the job in the kicking competition in the preseason. So those are 3 outstanding guys to keep an eye on. I'll add a few. I think Donovan Edwards. When he had that 2022 season in Michigan, I think everyone thought he was going to be a high pick when he decided to go to the draft. And for whatever reason, it didn't work out that way. But I think that's a guy to keep an eye on. And I had another one in case you took mine. You did. Oh, where is it? I'll go with Jamal Pritchett. He's small. He's 5'8", 175. Xavier Gibson replacement, 100%. He's 5'8", 175. He's speedy, undersized slot receiver who has experience as a punt returner. So if you are on the train of Xavier Gibson, here's your pink slip. Come cut downs. This is a guy who could come in and replace him. And I don't think Gibson does anything great to deserve to be rostered. He doesn't change the game in a positive way. He had one great moment. If he didn't have that moment, there'd be no loyalty to him by the previous coaching staff, and he would have been gone already. But I think that moment garnered him an extra 33 games, which he did not deserve.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He was pretty mid as a punt returner, and then he kind of developed a fumbling problem. So yeah, I think the Jets could be in the market for an upgraded punt returner. That would be his path to the roster. Obviously, is winning the punt return job. I'll throw. So I made 5, and Diamond Edwards was my number 5. And we were
okay.
3 for 3 on the top 3. So the only other guy I have would be Fatorma Mulba, who is a defensive tackle and nose tackle from West Virginia. And maybe it's just me manifesting because we didn't draft a defensive tackle, which I was a little bummed, man, to not come away with one and how deep the class was. But he bills as a run stuffer, even though he's a little undersized. And I know like Derek Notty's been okay. I think Leonard Taylor could take a step up. But besides that, it's pretty much just like roster bubble guys. And look, I think there's a good shot a lot of UDFAs make this team, because I think when this regime is deciding against journeyman veteran on minimum contract or young player, they've already kind of shown us which way they want to go. So I think there's a good chance that like a handful of these guys stick, maybe up to 3 or 4.
Oh, definitely. Kuka Lake Jet fan with the super chat says, "Raffle me so hard." Kuka, you get 2 entries with that. And thank you very much, sir, for supporting the channel and longtime viewer of the channel. So thanks a lot, buddy. Nice. Okay. Let's get into Cook. What do you see for him?
So with Brady Cook, I mainly caught him when I was watching both Burden and Membu ahead of the draft. And I could say in 2024, I felt like Luther Burden's quarterback left a lot of meat on the bone, right? I think there were some reasons why he went undrafted. Apparently 2023 was better, which I haven't watched of him. So maybe I'll get around to that, like if he makes the team. But I will say he can move. Like he is a legitimate plus athlete for the position, and he's big enough. But besides that, just watching, some overthrows to Luther Burden, I can't say a ton about Brady Cook. But I will say this: I don't think I saw like Rich Cimini say, "Well, now that Jordan Travis retired, the Jets should have drafted a quarterback." It's like, dude, guys, the Jets. No one in the Jets organization has thought Jordan Travis was long for the field in months. Like, let's be serious. They knew his medicals were in a rough spot, and just pretend that Brady Cook was a 7th round pick. If it makes you sleep any better, like, there you go. He was a 7th round pick. They drafted a quarterback. Yeah. He has a 1% chance of being the guy. The Willie McSmithers, who they could have drafted in the 6th round, has a 2% chance of being the guy. It's all, to me, I don't know, man. Like, I don't I'm not sweating that too much that they didn't draft a quarterback on day 3.
I'm not sweating it at all. You know, the one thing I do like about Cook, similar to Fields, right? If you looked at the breakdown of the player without the name attached to it, athletic, mobile, questionable throws, sometimes not the greatest with accuracy. You say the same thing about Tyrod Taylor, right? Your quarterback room is very similar with their skill sets. So you can coach everyone up equally. It's not like you talking to Tom Brady and then you're talking to Michael Vick, where you have to explain things differently because their skill sets are completely opposite ends of the spectrum. You can coach, teach, and design for when the next guy goes in, you're not missing a beat. You know, you can coach these guys up with drills that help all of them. So there is a similarity between all three of their skill sets, which as a coach makes it easier to build up that room and develop that room, because you're trying to develop them all the same way. Everything that Fields does, Cook, make sure you're paying attention to this. Sometimes you do an immobile guy with a mobile guy, and it just doesn't. You got to create different drills for them. But I think with the way the quarterback room is now, there's a similarity between everyone, and that could make the coaching and the development phase a lot quicker for all of them, because there is no downtime where this doesn't speak to me. This is not my game. It's all the same.
Right. And it does. There was that report that said the Jets really wanted to prioritize getting a mobile quarterback before they even moved on from Aaron Rodgers or what direction they were going to go. And they signed Fields, check. They retained Tyrod, which financially any regime probably would have done, to be fair, but check. And then the quarterback they bring in as a rookie, all three are like plus athletes at the position. So I think that is something that they want. I would wager they probably felt pretty nice about Jalen Milroe too. It probably just didn't work out with the amount of needs the team had. But I think that's you're right about that. You don't want to have you wouldn't want Mike White backing up Lamar Jackson, right? I think that makes sense.
You don't have cement shoes backing up track star. So they do have that in common. Let me ask you this: with some cuts coming soon, and then with training camp, aside from a run stuffing D tackle that can shake free, right? Because those are sometimes the guys that do shake free. You know, if an undrafted free outplays an old veteran, that veteran will get dropped. You can pick up a run stuffing D tackle as we get closer to the season. Aside from that position, is there a spot that you're looking at and hoping that the Jets can still fulfill?
I think a tight end that could block a bit would be nice, because if you look at the tight end room right now, if they were going to keep 4, it would be Taylor, Ruckert, Smart, and Kuntz. So if you're rostering both Kuntz, Smart, and a 21-year-old rookie, that's probably going to be in rough shape in terms of blocking. So just some veteran tight end who's been around the league a little bit and who could block and catch 14 passes for you, I think would go a lot. Whatever Mo Alley Cox variant is floating around out there. I think an edge too, defensive line in general. I know Zadarius Smith. I don't know if they're going to go that pricey of a route, but he'd be a welcome addition to this defense as well. But I don't think they're going to do anything crazy. Even at wide receiver, I think the wide receiver room is going to kind of be what it is, because the guys you're getting are going to be like Tyler Johnson and Josh Reynolds and Alan Lazard. I mean, the guys that get cut are going to be kind of guys like that,
Okay. Now, I know you and Dom are my guys that I go to when I got cap questions. Right now, I believe we have $22 million after the roster, after the rookie allocation. We have about $22 million left, right? We had 14 after June 1st. How much money do we have opening when June 1st hits and Mosley and the Rodgers cuts become official? Or is that already factored into that 22?
My understanding, Spot Track bakes that in.
So that 22 has that in already?
To my understanding, it does.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, anyone who's going to get signed from here on out is not making $22 million a year. So they have financial flexibility to add to the roster. And they also have the ability to take that $22 million and carry it over if they don't spend it. So they can carry that over into the 2026 cap, right? And that's why New England and Washington had such big numbers this year, because they had carryover money from unused money the previous season.
Yeah, I think well, it's interesting too because they definitely, and who knows, like maybe it was just some sort of accounting that they were told, hey, this is how we want the money to flow, whatever. But I thought they might have just eaten a lot of that money, like front loaded the Rodgers money, like really put it on this year and then have more flexibility the following year. But they did leave themselves some breathing room. So you could be right. Maybe they just want to roll it over into next year or whatever, have some of the deadline. But it was interesting to me that they decided to kick that, and even some of the free agents they signed, how backloaded they are, and that's how most contracts are these days. But for a team that I thought they were going to bite the bullet on that money this year, so I'm not really sure what that chunk of change is left for. I hope it's for Zadarius Smith or something like that, but we'll see.
If it's not Zadarius Smith, you think they go into the season as they are at the end? You think Clemens makes this roster? You think they make a move? You think they're looking to upgrade him? I mean, I can't see them. I mean, this is a guy that we keep discussing, right? For me, the two chopping block guys are guys who've been here. It's Gibson and it's Clemens. And I don't know how you could look at the film and the production and not get rid of that guy when his cap or his salary went from 1 and change to 3 and change. Who would look at that guy's film and say he deserves a raise and he deserves to be here? Like, how is it even fathom that he's still on the roster? Like, are you afraid to cut him because how he's going to react? Like, are you afraid that he's just that much of a nutcase? Like, he's going to jump on the coaches and the GMs like he did the pile in Buffalo? Well,
yeah, we'll see. Well, him and Greg Z too, I thought would have been cut already. They'll probably both go into camp. But you mentioned the money. I think that is going to be the sticking point with him, because for Clemens, I would just rather roster another UDFA, like the guys, whatever, Watson, McGregor from last year, Barron, the rookie. I'd rather roster guys like that behind McDonald and Johnson for whatever they're making less than $1 million, then Clemens for $4 million. I just, you want to give guys the benefit of the doubt with new coaching, but with Clemens, it's just, I think it's worse than his stats. Like when you watch it, it's worse than the stats because of the dumb penalties and because of how soft he plays for a guy who's
so read an offense. He doesn't know how to.
No, he's lost out there.
He looks lost.
Him and Kinlaw
like
out
big
there
guy
together
that
last year was.
It's Kimbo Slice. Hey Kimbo, go play DN in the NFL. Looks great. Moved okay. Just doesn't know where to be. Doesn't know how to assess of what he doesn't. I feel like he doesn't even go to practice. So he doesn't know anything with the game plan. Just like you play DN, you play DN, and just goes and plays DN, and isn't ready for the job. He's in over his head.
I what they look like whenever they made when Brock Lesnar tried to play NFL football for a cup of coffee. I haven't seen the film on that, but it probably looked like that. I'd probably take Brock over Clemens.
I mean, I would take Michael Clemens coming out NXT with that badass, like, give him a Kamala with like a kimchi, like a Nigerian nightmare type like character, and let him just like intimidate people. But I would rather watch that on WWE than for the Jets. It's really mind-boggling that he's still there. Cuca Lake with another super chat. Thank you, buddy. 2024 class, Travis Pick injured, and Cordy because he's a Rodgers guy. Great JD moves and shows how he was sucking Rodgers' teats. Thoughts?
I don't know if we could pin the Corley pick solely on Rodgers. Then to be fair, Corley wasn't like a consensus massive reach, but obviously, we'll see. You're hoping with a different coaching staff it could be better, but definitely not the rookie season that he was hoping for sure. We'll see, man. But
yeah, very
because Rodgers wanted Bowers, man. Rodgers looked like his dog ran away when they drafted an offensive lineman. Did you see them on the McAfee show or whatever? He wanted either whatever, Brian Thomas Jr. or Bowers. He wanted a weapon, for sure. So if they were making their decisions based on Rodgers, they would have drafted a weapon over Olu, but they made a decision for the future. So I kind of pushed back on that. Now maybe they spun around and they said, okay, Rodgers, because we did that, you can have your pick of this third round receiver, and maybe he likes Corley. But I don't know, man.
You figured Corley would have been the perfect wide receiver for Rodgers because he didn't run routes downfield, and he was primarily going to be used as a guy we thought passes at the line of scrimmage. Like if you would have used Garrett Wilson with Rodgers, if you would have used Corley that way, quick passes, bubbles, wide receiver screens, give him the ball, let him catch and go. I don't think anyone would have had a problem with that. But that would have opened. I would have stacked him and Wilson together time and time again. Let Wilson break downfield, throw the quick pass to Corley, let him run. And if they start jumping that, then you get a pump and a go to Garrett. Like I would have just stacked them together, or put aces over to the side and just run it time and time again. And just toyed and tinkered with the defense. Instead of having to do all these signals and change everything, they should have just came out with an attack. And I feel that that's the part I'm going to hate most, right? Everyone says, I wish this team would have stayed healthy one year, or I wish we would have seen them run the offense as called. Now the argument immediately would be, well, maybe Rodgers knew that shit wouldn't work. That's why he was changing it. I get that. But I would have somewhat liked to see a rhythm of an offense, or the coordinators when Downing took over. Let me see what the guy can call. Let's see if he gets a rhythm going. Let's see if he gets the run game going. I feel that Rodgers took that away time and time again. And I felt that it hurt player growth, and it also hurt the coordinator from ever getting in a rhythm.
Yeah, it was on both ends. It was tough because Hackett notoriously gets the play in as late as any. Remember in Denver, he couldn't get they couldn't get a play in, and then when you compound that with Rodgers, who likes to do his stuff with the line. But remember when Todd Downing first took over, man, he cooked. Remember the Buffalo game? It was the best offensive game of the year, and then they were like, "All right, let's go back."
Can't
to
do that. Can't do that.
But yeah, man, it's
solid coach team. We can't have offense. Poppycock.
Yeah, that so it was a perfect marriage of that was brutal. That offensive staff is one of the worst I've seen. And that's some pretty nice company there you got. But I just missed Kotite, so that might have been as close to Gase, because at least Gase could get you a first drive touchdown. You know what I mean?
I talk about this all the time. Go watch the Jets highlights from 85 and 86 when they went 10-6 and 11-5. Rich Kotite was their offensive coordinator in 85 and 86. The greatest offense we've ever had with Ken O'Brien, Freeman McNeil, Mickey Schuler, Toon, and Walker. Rich Kotite was the offensive coordinator for those teams. Yeah, little nugget not many people know. Like your face said it all. You're like, he's got to be fucking with me. No, it's true. It's a fact. Adam and I were doing a wheel one time on his show, and I Googled the stat for 85, and then when it comes up on Football Reference, it says the head coach and the coordinator's names. I'm like, what? It says Rich Kotite. So I go to the next year, 86, Rich Kotite. I'm like, what the fuck? It's very unbelievable, but that was one of the greatest, if not the greatest, offense we've ever had. Was those Jets teams in the mid '80s, and that was him. He went to Philly from there, got the head coaching job, and then got he went there to be a coordinator there, then got elevated to the coach, and then got fired, and we hired him as head coach, I believe. I believe that was his career trajectory.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, that'll. You want to go down a deep rabbit hole? Go watch those 85, 86 offensive plays and be like, you're not going to believe who was running this.
So he just needed more time. And
yeah,
that's all it was.
that's it. That's it. Boomtown with a comment. I'm surprised there's a narrative out there yet that Corley isn't smart enough to grasp a playbook similar to what they went through with Mims. Might happen. Yeah, man. If there's a second playbook and he's not running routes the right way, and I mean he's doing the workouts. His Twitter is full of him doing the workouts and then footwork and conditioning.
I mean, it's not quantum mechanics. Like I think if he, if he's putting the work, he'll be all right. Like with Corley, if it's week 1 and he's inactive again, I'm like, all right, okay, that's he obviously ain't up to it. But I'm treating Corley like he's a rookie again. And we'll just see, So I'm blank slate for Corley, but yeah, obviously, if it's another whole coaching staff and it's the same stuff, it's like okay, maybe he just can't make the transition from NFL to college because it was low level competition, and his highlights were him getting a bubble screen and getting like 8 yards of momentum and then running through like accounting graduates. So there was a chance that wasn't going to, it's not like he was. This wasn't Amari Cooper's film at Alabama that we were watching, right? This is, a niche projection, so it might not work out. We'll see.
All right. If you got to give me, I'll give you the last question because I know you got to go. If you got to give me a name that the Jets signed that will shock everyone, who will it be? And this is based off of you mentioned Mike Cooper. Can't pick him. But if there's someone else that we add to this roster, who would shock Jets Nation?
I don't know if it would shock, but I do think the biggest ticket they could get would be Zadarius Smith, and he might be the best free agent available left on the market because of the familiarity with Glenn and because of the need and because of the scheme fit. So I'd say Smith would be the biggest big ticket free agent that they could get. I'm not sure how shocking it would be, but it would be big news.
That'd be a big signing. That would be a nice addition, right? Because now you can rotate. You can use him until you get Jermaine along, and then you can rotate him and Jermaine and have Will take a breath and be ready for pass rushing downs. Also, early candidate for comment of the night, Alan says, I'm an accounting graduate. So good luck tackling Corley, Alan. Point proven.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, sir, thank you. It's always a pleasure talking ball with you. Do you have more time? I know you only had 20 minutes when we first got together.
Yeah, I'm gonna dip out, but I appreciate it, man. Okay. Anytime. Be talking to you guys soon. Hit that like button and go Jets.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate your time, man. Be good. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, Buffalo Jet fan. If you haven't already, go subscribe to this channel. No, you suck, you little fuck. Speaking of Nigerian princes, hey, Charles.
I'm a Nigerian prince now. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, you got hacked by one. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm all right. You look like you're on like a 7-day bender. What's going on here? We got beard coming back, unbrushed hair. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's interesting. It's getting hot in here. I just want to stop by and say hello. How you doing good, buddy?
I'm all right, man. I can't complain. Things are good. What's your thoughts?
Wonderful. On who an undrafted free agent may make the team? I mean,
anything. What's in the mind of Mr. Gorman?
Well, I would like to see Mike Clemens get cut because I think he lacks football intelligence.
Any truth to the rumor?
I had sex with 6 hookers and they gave me AIDS. Oh, nah, you forgot. I don't get AIDS. I give them AIDS.
It's a family show, Charles. It's a family show, you lunatic. What are you doing?
Look at this stupid comment Jake West made.
Barbie's in the chat. Barbie says, hi, Charles. You're handsome, and I think you'd be a good father for my kids.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, but I'm not interested in Mr. Barbie. Thank you.
Miss. It's Barbie. Barbie is a female. Miss Barbie.
I meant Mr. because he might be a Nigerian prince.
Oh, nice. You're playing defense now. I like it. Can you play D-tackle? I know you're not very tall or very physically intimidating, but do you think if you're a feisty guy, if we put you in there, you can maybe shoot the gap real low? Not like Isabel wanted you to shoot the gap, but do you think that you can get into the backfield? And
no. I'm not that strong enough. I'm not even close to 300 pounds.
All right. If you were to be a football player, what position would you choose? Where do you think your skill set could be best utilized to help the New York Jets?
The bench warmer.
All right. I would use you as the kid who goes and picks up the tee after the kicks off. Could you run out to midfield and back? Could we get you doing that? Maybe.
Well,
all right. You didn't rule it out.
The water boy, like Adam Sandler.
You're not tall enough though to reach the mouth and squeeze the water bottle. These guys don't even squeeze their own water bottles when they make more than $5 million a year. You'd have to really we'd have to put you on a fishing rod and hang you out there, and then you'd have to give them water that way.
Yeah.
How's everything in the life of Charles Gorman?
We're going to talk with the moving company tomorrow.
Nice.
Move some stuff in from my grandmother's apartment to see the day what's good for them to move my stuff from my grandmother's apartment to my new apartment. So hopefully things work out. I'm going to Six Flags this Friday.
What is that?
Great Adventure.
I don't do parks. I don't know what that is. Explain it to me like I've never been there because I've never been there.
Six Flags, they got the Superman ride, the Batman ride, the Joker ride, that type of stuff.
I don't do rides.
Oh, I'm sorry. Going to a park, Great Adventure Park on Friday. Should be fun.
Do they
I'll be
have
there
cotton
most of the
candy?
day. What?
Do they have cotton candy?
I hope they do. I love cotton candy.
Candy apples? Little caramel apples?
I have no idea. I've never been to Six Flags.
See how much we have in common? I've never been there either. How much soda are you going to drink?
The whole gallon. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm
You
gonna
drink
drink
a lot
plenty
of
of
soda.
water. That's
You
for
got to
damn
stop
sure.
with the soda intake. Your soda intake worries me.
I'll be fine, buddy. No worries. Hakuna
Yeah,
Matata.
right now you'll be fine, but when you get older, and you'll be like, man, I wish I didn't eat all that sugar. Oh, I fell down the stairs. Where the fuck did my toe go? Learn from other people's life experiences so you don't have to experience the same thing.
I won't. Trust me. But I'll keep that in mind.
Any chance that you'll see Tom Ace there because he seems to be keen on
I
the
would love to
sweets
meet
that
Tom
they have.
Ace. Again, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Tell everyone you kicked his ass in bowling.
I didn't kick his ass in bowling. I think he did well in bowling.
Well, he's not on. No, he doesn't call in. Say whatever the fuck you want. People will believe you.
I'll keep that in mind. Anyways, I know that's my key phrase. Anyways,
Never
Move on.
heard. This is the first time I'm hearing you say it. Anyways, how's Mr. and Mrs. Gorman doing?
she's doing good. She's going back to work. My father's off tomorrow, so that's why we're discussing with the moving company. So my grandmother moved to St. Joseph's Nursing Home last Friday, which was great.
Nice. She doing okay?
She's doing great. Yes. I'm just very excited to hopefully move into my apartment.
Well, good luck. Do I get an
Thank you.
invite over to said apartment when you move in?
Of course, you and all my good buddies are welcome to join.
Wait a minute. Let me know who else you're inviting before I commit, please. I don't want to walk in and get blindsided. Who else are your good buddies?
Some of my friends that I made, like Weed,
Oh, I'm out. You did not want him to come there.
Jay Graves,
She's cool.
Knob Deep, Knob Crab, whatever the hell you want to call him. Purple
He's
Belt
in
Mike.
North Carolina.
Purple Belt Mike. Mr.
Purple Belt
Bumsy.
Mike. Okay. Here we go.
I would like to meet Roseanne again, but she hasn't responded to my Instagram post in a while. But
What are you doing? Have we not learned about trying to go after women on Instagram? What are you
I
doing?
wasn't going after her.
What do you?
I was just
What do you mean
talking with
she
her on a
hasn't
regular-
responded? What did you do?
I asked her how she was doing. That was it.
In DM or in one of her posts? Like you put a
Instagram.
comment.
Instagram.
I got that, but let me break it down. Did you send her a private message or did you comment on one of her posts like, "Hey, how are you?" and she didn't reply to that?
I commented on one of her posts and I private messaged her.
All right. Now you can't go anymore after that. You gotta pull the
I've been
emergency
giving
brake.
her space, but I haven't heard back from her in a while. That's what I meant to
Yeah,
say. My
you don't message again after that. If you direct message, are you guys friends? Does she follow you?
She follows me and I follow her. Yes.
All right, then you gotta pull the e-brake. You can't message anymore. You gotta either leave it in her park to reply, or you gotta say, "Hey, I tried and it got denied." Or as Tom Ace just texted me now, Charles, that's her playing hard to get. Keep messaging. Eventually, she'll reply. Okay, Tom, good point.
I'll keep that in mind. Have you seen any movies lately, Nick?
I watched Semi-Pro.
Oh, that's a good movie. That's a funny movie.
It was good. Enjoyed it.
Will
And
Ferrell's a
then,
tremendous talent.
My brother-in-law started watching Running Man, and then I had to leave during it.
Okay. I'll see you next time, okay, buddy? Hopefully Michael Clemens gets cut because he sucks.
Like that.
Peace out.
Right. And good luck in the DM world, Charles. You have a whole community supporting you, rooting for you as you remove yourself from the. I would give a lot of I would pay to have a 24/7 screen mirroring going on of Charles's phone. See what he does. May says guard Charles didn't want to hear much about Nick's movie review. He did it. I figured Running Man was up his alley. I figured that was a movie he was going to talk about. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, not as interesting as what I'm doing right now. Oh. Oh. Hi, everyone who's in the Discord. Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen of the Discord, the link to call in is there. If you have something to share, this is the platform to do it. Oh yeah, they're getting rebooted after reboot. Oh, we're just gonna. Oh yeah, we're gonna delete the call in until after the show if this is what it takes. Channel has been deleted. If you do not follow the rules of the channel, ladies and gentlemen, the DP has been deleted until after the show. It will be reignited. There's rules to this game. Ladies and gentlemen who are in YouTube, the link is there for you to call in. I don't know what just happened in Winnipeg. Can you update us? Yes, there we go. The DP is now the deleted place. It's also in the DP in the distant past. .6 seconds, son of a bitch. That's what she said. Scored with 1.6 seconds to push it to overtime. Game 7. Wow. Wow. Interesting. Barbie Midnight says, can I please get in the DP? Well, according to your profile photo here, it's Domino's Pizza. There's 69 of you watching right now. I know this happened earlier in the chat, but by the time I saw the comment, it wasn't, we weren't at 69 anymore. I think we jumped up to 82. I think all of you watching the show so far tonight and staying in the YouTube chat, which is the place to be during the show. For those of you here, thank you. We have a running back raffle going on. We have Freeman McNeil autographed jersey, Curtis Martin mini helmet, Thomas Jones mini helmet. Sunday night is the night to gift, is the night to super chat. This is the night that all raffle entries are doubled. And I'm going to gift one myself now because I feel that last week I owed one. and I didn't do it. I think someone gifted 5 the other day, and I did not do it before the end of the show. And I just gifted one that went to Gucci Finesse. Gucci Finesse has been gifted a Nick Shine Show membership. Awesome. And for those of you here watching now, I want to give a second personal shout out to David D. David D, Detroit Lions fan, who is always in the chat here and a great part of this community, won a CJ Mosley autograph jersey and a Joe Klecko mini helmet on Connor Long's show. And they reached out to me, and Connor said that David wanted to give those to me. And David, I'm very, very humbled and appreciative of you doing so, and very kind of you. You're the man. Nikki is very excited as well, because Nikki knows a lot of the autograph things that I get are going to be his inventory and his collection. So I won a Braylon Allen jersey off of Gunny NYJ Situation Report show last week, and that'll be going to Nikki. And then Jake gifted me for helping him with the draft party a Sauce Gardner jersey. I'm going to get a frame for that. That's going to go on the wall here. The same exact day, Alona won a silent raffle for an autographed Sauce jersey. Nikki's going to get that. And then I'm going to keep the Joe Klecko jersey, and Nikki's going to get, or the Joe Klecko helmet, and Nikki's going to get the CJ Mosley jersey. So thank you very much, David. And ladies and gentlemen, the legend himself. He's like Randy Orton. He's the legend killer. Rick Kent, ladies and gentlemen, just got 12 entries into the raffle and gifted 5 channel memberships. They went to Orlando G, NYJ, Dino, R&R, another Dino, spelled differently, and Daz Acoustic. Mr. Kent, you are the legend, sir. I appreciate you, and good luck to you, my friend. Now I feel bad for booting you out of the DP. Could this be the way to get the DP recreated right now? Everyone else who was in there, there's one way and one way only. Yes, you can buy the DP back. It is for sale. It can be reinstated. Jay Quest, Jesus, is it bad if you get nauseous after you rip a fart? Boomtown, are you asking us? Are you asking Jesus? Oh, that's good. Every time it's thunder, it's just Jesus party. Awesome. I see the chat is up to no good. Matthew Smith, being Matthew Smith. I love it. At least he's doing it with the Matthew Smith name this week. Good point, Stack. According to Weed the People, it's always good to travel with an extra pair of socks in your book bag for emergencies. That's all I'll say. Wait a minute. So Winnipeg was down 3-1 with under 2 minutes left, and they scored twice to force a Game 7? Or they scored 3 times to win it? They scored 3 times in the last 2 minutes? If only somebody who saw the game could click a link and share the info. That would be tremendous. Okay, ASU, you're the man. Here we go. They scored 2 times, and then in overtime, they scored to win it. Oh, okay. So Game 7 is overtime is going on right now. Oh, man. I know you guys are not going to believe this, but I'm going to tell you something right now. Some of you may laugh at this. You guys know I'm not a hockey fan. I'm very, very out of the circle when it comes to hockey news. But I've always said since the 90s, if there's a Game 7 overtime, it's the most exciting thing in all sports. A Game 7 in hockey is the most exciting thing in sports. You live and die with every shot, every breakaway. You know, basketball overtime is fucking boring. Basketball regulation is boring. Baseball extra innings, if it's a walk-off, sure. But hockey, Game 7 overtime, it's the greatest thing in sports. I could say a playoff for a major in golf is up there, but there's so much downtime in between shots. That's why hockey gets it for me. All right. So a little more channel news while we're waiting for the next call in. I was hoping to do a long show tonight, but if we're going to do a hangout, those of you who were looking to hang out and chat, feel free to call in. We could do a hangout format if that entices some of the callers to call in. You don't have to worry about dropping short, significant takes. But keep eyes out for shorts. One of the brain trust in the DP, our buddy Stack, has been getting on me to start dropping more shorts on YouTube. And I've done it a couple shows this week. I've taken some short clips. I did a draft weekend live from the Shore House. I dropped a few. And the channel has seen some growth. We've gained almost 20 subs since last Sunday. So in the last week, I think we're at 18 now. So keep an eye out on those. And just do me a favor when you see it, hit a like button. Watch the video, hit the like. If you want, share it. $19 of them are Matthew Smith burners. Hey, whatever it takes to grow the channel, I'm okay with. If you all create burners right now and subscribe to the channel, I ain't mad at you. Just make sure to hit the like from both and donate from both, and maybe win yourself a prize. And then you can gift the prize to yourself from the burner account to your real account. Knob Deep is here, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, clicked the wrong one. I'm not a burner. No, you're not. You have been known to have some parts of you that burn on occasion, but there's medicine for that. You're okay. Okay. I have to use the bathroom. We are going to do, we're going to drop. Oh, hold on. This will make me squeeze a little tighter to hold it in. There you go. Boom. Work your magic with that one in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Knob Deep with Rich Kotite as his channel picture is great. And they went to Cuca Lake Jet Fan, Cougar Slayer, Mr. Weed, K-Brock the Jets fan, and Flight Right 49. Uh-oh. K-Brock and Mr. Weed have to join the channel on your own, or thou shalt be eliminated from the Discord. Gentlemen, warning shots fired. But Knob Deep, you remain the fucking man. And just like Rick Kent, you get 12 raffle entries tonight. Good, sir. Dave Briga coming in with some very good life advice. Nick, don't ruin your bladder. Mr. Brigger, the last thing I would ever want to do in this world is upset my mama and then upset you. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the Lane Train doing impersonations. It's the Nick Shine Show. We'll be right back after these very, very important words.
This is his Bobby in his orange chair. See, this is him. I like to come around. Let's give my wife. No, I mean, I'm Neil. I saw that game and I was in my nuts. How could they not win? I'm upset right now, going bonkers with a cigar in my mouth. I was watching it and the record's like 10-3 now. You know? Let me just go step out the window right now. I'm Charles. With the hat on.
Oh, wow. That's fast. Yeah, you could do. All right, hold on. Let's do Alan. Do you want to do a impersonation of me?
Good evening. Before I start this show, these are the advertisements. Custom best bourbon that you could get for just 99 cents for the you get 50% off anytime you go to like Buffalo Wild like wings for any Jets game or Giants game. We're gonna go take some callers now. Bobby, are you there? I don't think he's there. I think he's in a dark spot.
Would you be able to do an impersonation of Jake?
You know how it counts down to the beginning of the show and go, good evening. I'll have shows on for 2 days. I had one this morning with Jeff Parsons. And the merch store, anything that you could get from the merch store is you get for any, like, if you become a member. The first caller we go to is Bobby, midnight. Hi, Jake. Hi, Bobby. Oh, you look happy. Can we see your cat? Okay, I'll show you my cat. Oh, the kitty cat. I can do this all day.
Can you do an impersonation of Robert C?
Don't worry, but his hair's never clean. He looks like a guy from Monster Inc.
Are you going to race Charles at MetLife Stadium in the parking lot of 40-yard dash?
Do you know the national anthem?
Oh, say and make through by the light and so bright as the twilight's last evening.
Tremendous work.
Very nice. A mutiny has arose, ladies and gentlemen. A mutiny is amongst us right now. All right. Let's see how it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the show. What did we learn today? Jeffrey, what did we learn? I have a few. What did we learn? I'll save mine for the end. Let's see, what do we have from the chat? Any what do we learn, ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap up the show here? All right. Mr. Boomtown, would you please drop what did you learn this evening? Yes, Stack. The power of prayer is amazing. We're here for Queen Leanie. Yeah, everyone say a prayer for Leanie and Mr. Leanie. He's got some health issues that hit him and my family pretty hard over the weekend. So if you got a moment, take a minute and say a prayer for them. They need that right now. Boomtown learned good behavior earns a call-in link. Clancy has crusty eyes. Pink tans were avoided on Saturday. Tight-fitted shirt men with strong accents in New York should be avoided at all costs. Very good. Bonus. Cigar shops are an excellent way to get a break from the heat. R word equals Russian. M word equals Muppet. Appeared like one host copied the homework of the other tonight. Skin is an accounting grad. Alan is an accounting grad. I think that auto-corrected on you. Double bonus. Charles completely disregarded the family show rating tonight. Roseanne might be playing hard to get with Charles. DP is available at a price. Triple bonus. Still unclear if Jayquest was asking Chad or Jesus about his smelly farts. Nick has been dropping his shorts a lot more recently. A mutiny took place tonight. Yeah. I guess loyalty is hard to come by these days. Made one simple request. No DP to the show. So that's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button. And thank you for watching The Nick Shine Show. Until next time.